Hey writers, it's me again. Before we get started with our mini lesson, I want to remind you of what you should have with you. You should have your blue writing folder with your realistic fiction story or stories inside it. So if you don't have your blue writing folder with you right now, get that out and get ready. Okay, good. As the rest of you are getting those out, we're going to get started. Today's mini lesson is just going to be a quick teaching reminder. You guys are such strong writers, and I know that Miss Redmond was impressed with you yesterday because she bragged on you and said that you guys have been doing a great job. So she has seen your great writing, and I just want you guys to remember that you are the boss of your own writing. You know how to make yourself grow. You know where you want your story to go, and you have the keys and the understandings and the tools to help you reach those goals as writers. So today, what I want you to do is get out your writing checklist. I don't have one printed out in front of me, but I've got it over to the side on my screen over here. And I'm going to be looking at that as we go through this mini lesson together. So go ahead in your blue folder, get out your checklist. Now, I know some of us may not have those checklists handy, so if you can't find one, please raise your hand. And Miss Redmond, there is a blue writing folder of mine on my table where the computer and the document camera are. It's on top of that little teal, it's like a tall teal rectangular box that is right beside the document camera. And so there may be some papers on top of it, but it's a blue folder with Brad's in it. And if you open that up, there'll be some extra copies of the second and third grade narrative checklist. So if anybody doesn't have one, you can hand those to them now so that they can have one to look through and use to guide their writing today. All right, boys and girls, as you've got that checklist out, I just want you to skim over it with your eyes and look at the different sections that are on it. I'm looking right now and I see that there is a section for overview. There's a row about overview, overall. There's a row for the lead or the introduction, your first page. There's a row for transitions. How do you change from one idea to the next? Is it really choppy or does it flow smoothly like a real story? There's a row for the ending. There's a row for organization. And then there's more development, like your elaboration and your craft. Boys and girls, the goal that you choose today is 100% totally up to you. As you're reading through the things that you need to be doing as a second grade writer and the ways that you can push yourself as a third grade writer, I want you to make sure that you feel very comfortable saying to yourself, yes, I am doing this well, or no, I am not there yet. Boys and girls, the power of yet is even in our writing. So that is really a great way to look at it. I'm not there yet, but I could make that change today. So I'm going to put on my writing hat and I've got my pen ready. And I'm going to start looking at my checklist. And this is what I want you to do. I want you to think about your story and where do you think you're really strong? And where do you think you're not so strong that you could bring up or bulk up and make even better? So as I'm thinking back to my story about Jordan, I feel really comfortable and confident about my beginning and middle of my story because those were the parts that I've worked on already. Logan helped me work on them, gave me some good ideas. You boys and girls have really helped me think about what I need to add in there to make it feel like a real story, like you're there with me. Or we're there with Jordan, actually, because it's not a real person. It does feel like it's me because I'm writing it. But I know that I have not even started on my end page. So the ending is where I'm going to really focus my attention right now. So I'm looking at my checklist and I'm looking at the row that's titled ending. And you can look along with me if you'd like, because a lot of times our conclusions are not the strongest part of our writing. And you can see that in second grade it says, I chose the action, the talk, or the feeling that would make a good ending. So those are things that we do anyway, action, talk, and feeling. Those are how we bring our stories to life. I guess that would be a good way to bring our story to an end. Let me see how I could push myself to be a third grade writer. It says, I chose the action, talk, or feeling, that's the same, that would make a good ending and worked to write it well. Oh, that's what we're doing today. We're working to do these things very well. We're paying attention to what we're writing. And we're going to try really hard not just to get something on paper, but to get the right thing on paper by going over it and rereading and making changes. Well, I think I know where I'm going to write when I continue writing today as a writer. I hope you do too. Here's your challenge. Before you get started zooming, I want you to find 2 things in your paper. After you've looked at your checklist, I want you to find 1 thing in your paper that you feel like you have done very well. Yes, definitely I've done that as a 2nd grader and I'm pushing into 3rd grade work. And I want you to put a heart or a star beside it because you know that that's something you're proud of inside your writing. Then the next thing I want you to do is to put a little triangle next to a part where you feel you need to make a change or you need to make it stronger. I always put triangles in my notes to show that I need to do change. That's a math symbol actually for change. So put a little triangle next to the thing that you need to make better. And then that way when you're making your goal for today, you know just what to do. Boys and girls, make your hearts and stars and triangles now, and then get straight to your writing. And Miss Redmond, continue doing that great job that you do. Make sure that you encourage them to work on their stamina because that's what we're doing as writers. And feel free to do a good share this afternoon too with kids who have really worked towards their goals. All right, boys and girls, I'll see you in a little bit. Bye. Happy writing.